Let's talk Tanya for the 8th of Elul. Today we start a new letter, chapter 12, Igeres HaKodesh, a letter on the topic of tzedakah, and the Alter Rebbe, as he does very often, he begins with a pasuk with a verse. A verse from Yeshaya, and the verse is V'hoya Maisa HaTzedakah Shalim, V'avodas HaTzedakah Hashket Uvetach Ad Olam, which translates as that the result of the act of tzedakah is peace, and the result of the service of tzedakah is tranquility and security for all time. And the Alter Rebbe is going to analyze this pasuk and say, first of all, we talk about Maisa HaTzedakah versus Avodas HaTzedakah. There's the act of tzedakah and the service of tzedakah. What is the difference between the act and the service? And also, what is the difference between peace and shalom, which is the reward for the act of tzedakah, as opposed to tranquility and security, which lasts forever, which is the reward for the service of tzedakah. So, as is, you've probably gotten used to this, the answer is not going to come for a few days. We got to finish the letter. The Alter Rebbe first, we're going to take a little detour, and we're going to talk about shalom, the concept of peace in general. What is peace, and how is peace accomplished? So, in davening every day, several times a day, we say, Oisa shalom b'mreimov hu yaseh shalom aleinu, which means the one who makes peace in his heavens, he should make peace for us. What does that mean that he makes peace in heavens? Are the angels also busy bickering and fighting with each other, and Hashem has to intervene and be the referee and make peace between them? Why is there a need for peace in heaven? So the Medrash talks about this, and the Medrash says that the pasuk Oisa Shalom B'mreimov actually is referring to a very specific instance where peace was necessary in heavens. When was that? It was back in the day when Hashem wanted to bring the plague of hail upon Egypt. And as we know that it wasn't ordinary hail, it was ice, but inside the ice was fire. And in the heavens, we have two very famous angels. You have one angel, Michael, the other angel is Gabriel. And Michael is the Sar Shalmayim, he is the angel of water. And Gabriel is the Sar Shalesh, he is the angel of fire. Now, fire and water don't get along with each other. When they meet with each other, one of the two will happen. Either the water will extinguish the fire, or the fire will evaporate the water. But over here, it was necessary to make peace between Michael and Gabriel, between these two angels. And once Hashem got them to make peace with each other, then it was possible to have the plague of hail. What does that mean? That means that Michael stands for water, and Gabriel stands for fire. And fire and water don't get along with each other. But then Hashem, as it were, he summoned them both into his presence. And when Michael and Gabriel entered God's presence, Michael suddenly was overcome with a tremendous bittul, tremendous nullification, a tremendous sense of, a loss of sense of identity and self. And Michael realized, when you're standing in front of the king, all I am is a subject of the king. And Gabriel had the same feeling. Oh, if Michael is a subject of the king and Gabriel is a subject of the king, sure, no problem. We can get along with each other. We're both the same. We're both just subjects of the king. And in Chassidus is explained that this is symbolic of a deeper spiritual reality, which is that Michael represents chesed, kindness, the divine attribute of kindness. And Gabriel represents gevura, the divine attribute of severity, because we know that water is rooted in kindness and fire is rooted in severity. And kindness and severity are two totally different opposing philosophies in life. Very hard to get them to come together and agree with each other. However, in the presence of God, so suddenly all that's present is that bittul ta Hashem, that nullification to God. And when that happens, we can have chesed and gevura, kindness and severity, working in tandem together also. Which gives us the general principle. The general idea is that when we have two opposing forces, the way to make peace between them is by introducing a higher element, higher than both of them, to which both of them submit. Even practically in life, when you have two people who don't get along with each other, but if there is some sort of higher value or ideal or goal, which both of them are committed to equally, they are both bottled to that, then both of them can get along with each other and cooperate with each other. That is the Chassidic understanding of peace. What does this have to do with tzedakah? That we'll find out, God willing, in tomorrow's Tanya.